bring what feels like an insurmountably expensive education to the everyday person at affordable rates with zero debt. And to graduate students who are day one ready. That means when you finish here, you're holding skills you can use immediately in the workplace. At GSE, we train in areas that actually move the needle financially, skills that employers pay for and entrepreneurs use to build income. Here are a few of the core tracks we teach: coding and development, Python, build real projects, learn automation, and develop job ready programming skills. AI for business. Learn how to use modern AI tools to create content, build funnels, automate workflows, and increase profit. Food truck entrepreneurship. Learn how to plan, price, design, and launch a food truck business the smart way. Audio/video engineering. Learn the skills behind live streaming, recording, editing, and production for real environments. And the goal is always the same: skill plus application equals transformation. GSE is for the person starting over, the person tired of living check to check, the person who knows they're gifted but needs structure, the person who's ready to stop watching other people win and start building. Whether you're in Texas, somewhere else in the US, or across the world, our cohorts are online, which means your location doesn't disqualify you. If you can learn, apply, and stay consistent, you belong here. What makes GSE different isn't just the classes, it's the culture. We don't hand out participation certificates. We believe in earned excellence. We build students who can actually do something, not just talk about it. This is a place where you get challenged, supported, and equipped. If you want to enroll, apply for a scholarship, or learn more, go to the GSE website and fill out the application. This is your sign to step in. And if you're here because you heard about scholarships, yes, we do scholarship opportunities, and we're always looking for students who are serious. All right, class is about to begin. Subscribe, like, and share. Apply on the GSE website. Welcome to Griffin School of Excellence, where excellence begins. Let's get into today's class. What if the next 12 months could completely change your income, your skills, and your confidence without student debt? Welcome to Griffin School of Excellence, GSE, where excellence begins. If you're watching this right now, you're in the right place. This live stream is part of what we do at GSE: real teaching, real skills, and real-world training that helps you grow. So before class begins, do 3 quick things for me. Subscribe to this channel, like this stream, and share it with one person who's trying to level up. GSE is a skill-based technical school built for everyday people. People with jobs, families, responsibilities, and big dreams. Our mission is simple: to bring what feels like an insurmountably expensive education to the everyday person at affordable rates with zero debt. And to graduate students who are day one ready. That means when you finish here, you're holding skills you can use immediately in the workplace. At GSE, we train in areas that actually move the needle financially, skills that employers pay for and entrepreneurs use to build income. Here are a few of the core tracks we teach: coding and development, Python, build real projects, learn automation, and develop job-ready programming skills. AI for business. Learn how to use modern AI tools to create content, build funnels, automate workflows, and increase profit. Food truck entrepreneurship. Learn how to plan, price, design, and launch a food truck business the smart way. Audio/video engineering. Learn the skills behind live streaming, recording, editing, and production for real environments. And the goal is always.
All righty. So we are back. Welcome everybody back. Thank you for your amazing. Alexa, turn on the shed. She's just like, what's going on? Or my children are inside playing, which is most likely what's happening. My shed is on Alexa, so when they want to play with Daddy, they'll turn my shed off. So not turn. I built this shed and turned it into an office. So you get to see my messy office. But like I said, my offices are messy everywhere here at the church. So now, hopefully they'll create AI that'll come and clean it. But I think that they're working on it. I don't know why my image is so fuzzy here, guys. You get to see me clean my cam here. which I did earlier. For some reason, it's still a little fuzzy, but that's fine. You won't be on me for long. You will be here on, let me see. Oh, so we're going to go ahead and jump in, and so let's do this. I'm going to screen share here, and boom. So let's hop in. There we go. And hopefully it'll just put me in the corner. Let's see if it'll. There we go. All right, so it doesn't want me on there. All right, so we're covering a lot. Welcome, Al. I'm glad you made it. What we covered so far, and we're just kind of getting into it, is generative AI, and we're going to talk about how to use AI specifically for um, assistance in coding. AI is not at the point where it is replacing coding. It is at the place where it is assisting coders. So a lot of stuff says, hey, build your website and build all of this stuff using AI. And I've used some of these tools, and they are assistants at best. When you try to use them to do more than assist, um, it doesn't work out too well. But they are really, really, really wonderful assistants. And that's what we want. We want them to be really, really great, really, really wonderful assistants. Um, so they're not at the point of replacing AI right now, but they are, replacing coders right now, but they are at a place um, where they can, I think, assist coders. So let's hop in. So we're going to look at AI from a coding standpoint and how it can assist us, troubleshoot for us, what it's capable of, and we're going to also build our own very own AI model. Okay. So earlier you guys gave us some prompts. This is the first prompt that I put in: a kid holding an oversized ice cream cone larger than she is and skipping down the street laughing, and it gave me this. Now this program is Runway ML. Go ahead and type Runway ML in the chat. Type that in the chat, Runway ML. And I created this is just a free version. If I had the paid version, I'd be able to just take the image that I created, drag it over here, and then it'll make the video of it. But one thing right now that AI is so early on that it is still very expensive. I've had organizations, this organization wanted to work with me to create a movie using AI, a Christian movie. And the problem with it is it would just be remarkably expensive to do so. Very, very costly, almost to the scale of just using actors and writing a script and doing it the traditional way. And it's a prompt that we gave it. A kid holding an oversized ice cream cone larger than she is. Oh no, where's the other one that we gave? A baby tiger and a baby gator sharing an ice cream sundae on the beach watching All righty. Texting tech support. All right. Can you hear me? Are we back live? Okay. I think we're back live. Perfect. Okay. If you're with me, if you can hear me, just say I can hear you. I can see the screen. I want to make sure that you're with me. I don't want to lose anybody. Okay, I got it. Albert says video is back. Stephen says I can see you. Okay. All right. So I think we're back. All righty. Sorry for that inconvenience. I don't know what is going on. But we're back. So all good. So here we go. I'm gonna do one, a baby tiger and a baby gator sharing an ice cream sundae on the beach, watching a baby flying away with a balloon. Watching, I'm gonna change it because what I really wanted to say was, I wanted the baby to floating in the sky, like floating away in the sky. So, a baby tiger and a baby gator sharing an ice cream sundae on the beach, watching a baby floating away far off into the sky on a lot of balloons. Okay, I like that. So now we're just going to hit generate. And now we're going to allow this to generate the image that we want it to generate. And that's a beautiful, beautiful image right there. It's going to create a kind of cartoony. Okay, it's giving us a warning. And this is what AI does if it says, hey, it believes that we're violating it in some kind of way. Text prompt may violate our usage policy. I'm not sure why. Peach watching a baby floating away far off into the sky on a lot of balloons. Okay, not sure why that would make it not good, but this is one of the issues with using AI to create prompts, create pictures, create videos, and then being consistent with them across all platforms. So one thing they wanted to do was to make a movie, but the character can't be Asian in one part of the video, then African in the next, or 6 foot tall in one and 3 foot tall in the next. It needs to be consistent throughout the video. And you need to be able to get scenes that are created in the videos. Now, there are AI that you can download that have no restrictions. They call it not safe for work, NSFW, which means there are no restrictions, but also you have to be able to program and create those models or tap into some models. And it's more than just giving a prompt. So we're going to remove the baby. Maybe it doesn't like the baby. And let's see if that works better for it. Stephanie says she wants the I'll see if I can download it. Let's see. She wants the picture because she thinks it's cute. All right, so I'm gonna drop the link of that picture in here. You'll see. All right, so I took the baby out, and boom, now it wants to generate it. And now we can see the baby tiger, we can see the baby alligator, and we can see them with the sundae with the beach in the background. Boom. And once again, if this was the paid version, I would just literally click on video, and I could take that prompt and just tell it, make it a video, or drag this over there and tell it, make it a video, and boom, we have a video. So how does it know what a tiger looks like? How does it know what a alligator looks like? How does it know what ice cream sundae looks like? How does it know these things, right? How does it know what it looks like? How does it know? Well, it's because you train them, and they're large language models. So that means that there's hundreds of thousands of pictures of tigers and alligators and sundays and beaches and cherries and glasses and wood and reflection of glasses and so and it uses this to make predictions. And we're going to actually create a large language model, or not large. Ours is going to be a micro, mini, super tiny language model because we're only going to put in a few images. But we'll see how it works. Okay, go ahead, and if you're with me, go ahead and type in the chat large language model, large language model, large language model, and we're going to go ahead and move on. All right. So hey. So you can see me in there. Now, this is Teachable Machine. So go ahead and type in Teachable Machine. Teachable Machine. I'm going to copy it here and just paste it into the chat right here. All right, Francisco says large language model. Stephanie says large language model. All righty. So here, I've started a tiny language model, but this is how large language models are built. I see Al said large language model. This is how large language models are built. We say, hey, we define what it is. This is a book, and these are pictures of books, Mike, people. And then now, if you can see over here, it's saying people. The input is my webcam, and it can see me, and it's saying, hey, this is a person. Look at it. It's identifying it. And if I hold up a microphone up in my picture, now it's me and the microphone, and you start to see the microphone jump up here as it identifies it. If I get it closer, it goes to the point it can't really see me. It goes, hey, there's a microphone. There's a microphone there. Microphone, 99% sure it's a microphone, right? So then if I asked it to make a microphone, it could, because it can now identify what a microphone is. And now if I said, hey, I have a book. You see book going up a little bit, but it's still mainly person. Well, what if I cover up the person? All right, now you see, it sees my fingers, and I guess it's thinking, all right, person and book. And if I get really, really close, it says kind of book, back up. I think that's a book. And there's a person, right? So that's how large language models work. And that's sometimes how they get confused when there's multiple things in a picture, or they can't distinguish one from another. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to delete all of these. And we're going to make our own large language model. Okay. So we're going to add a class. So book, because I've already downloaded pictures of books in preparation for this class today. So book, and then we'll have one called microphone, right? And then we'll have one called person or people. It doesn't matter. We'll call it person because I called it people before, and I want you to understand the difference. Okay, so it's still running off of the language model I created. So if I go train the model now, it's going to, because it's still, you can see, run off of the old model. It's not going to do well. So let's do some pictures here. Let's upload a picture, and I'm going to, because I have some stuff already set up over here, I'm going to purposely try to trick it, okay? I'm going to, where book goes, I'm going to put the church's calendar. So I'm going to tell it, hey, it's waiting for me to upload some images. And I'm going to put this, some other image, and microphone. I'm going to put some other image that's not a mic. Person. Excuse me. Okay. And then I'm going to put Jesus and pizza, just random images. Then I'm going to tell it to train the model. So now it is looking at the model And look, now it thinks all of these are the same. Look at that. Now it thinks all of them are the same. It can't distinguish between book, mic, or person. So I'm here. There's no mic. Well, it has this mic. But there's like, hey, what is going on? It's 20% person, 20% mic. There's no books in the image. It doesn't. Why? Because for one, my language model is flawed. My language model is not all that great, right? Thank you, everybody saying bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me wipe my hands here. The language model is flawed. Book is not books. Mics is not mics. Person here is not person. So how will it know which one to choose? So in the real world, what happens is someone looks at millions of books, images of books, and they upload it into the books model. And someone looks at millions of mic and they upload it into the mics model. Someone uploads millions of pictures and it looks at millions of pictures. A human uploads it to the person model. So humans are training these, and it's often people you need a lot of hours and they want cheap labor. So, and it doesn't take, a PhD to just look at, find pictures of books and upload them, right? Or verify that these are pictures of books that the model is choosing as pictures of books, right? So, they use their cheap labor, and that's all they do all day is verify mics and books and people and trees and dogs and donkeys and apples and leaves, right? and the more they put in, the better the model gets at predicting the right answer. So let's go ahead and we're going to erase these because we've confused it, right? We're going to erase these and we're going to actually put in the right things. Now I downloaded multiple pictures of books. The problem is I downloaded 5 pictures. One was WebP and 2 were WebP and 3 were JPEG. This will only recognize the JPEGs. And there you go. This will only recognize the JPEGs. So you got to see all the images. And let me upload the images. So it does not want WebP. It only wants JPEG. So I have 3 pictures of books. Now, mind you, this is a bookshelf. This is books turning. And these are just kind of like graphics, like cartoons of, fronts of books. So we'll see how well it does with the books. And then we're going to upload pictures of microphones that I've already pre-downloaded in preparation. Let's go. And I have 4 pictures of microphones. They're all JPEGs. So now we have 3 accepted pictures of books and really none that are great. That just has a single book in it. But hopefully it can figure out what the books are. 4 microphones. You see one here is kind of like the mic I have here, just a dynamic microphone. One like an old school mic. So that tells us that this is a mic also. So if it sees this. And then the other 2 are just mics on poles. And then I have some pictures of folks, of people. And we're just going to go ahead and download some pictures of people. And we're making our own large language model. We're building our own AI. It's called training AI. So now we have actual 3 books of people, 4 pictures of mics, 3 pictures of books, and 3 pictures of people. We're going to tell it to train. And if you're looking at epoch and batch size, learning rate, these are really batch sizes here in Teachable Machine. Doesn't affect how smart it gets because, like, if I have 160, say, images and I say batch size 16, it takes 10 times to get to 160. So it takes 16 batches of 10 to go through, and that would make like 1 epoch. And then we're telling it to do 50. So this is the technical information here. And then it's going to do 50 epochs. So that's how many times it reviews this data to try to figure out the right answer. So now we're going to tell it to train. Now it's training. And now look at me. It sees me And it goes, hey, there's a person there. There's a person. There's a person. And it says, oh, it's 90% sure that it's a person. Kind of like, it might be a book, maybe a mic, even though a mic's right here. But I think it's, since it's facing, all of the pictures were facing it up like this, um, it's not used to seeing it like this. But if I gave it enough pictures, it would identify that as a mic too. So now look at it. It's a person, but it's like, hey, there's something else in there too. And then when I get the mic really close, which matches the pictures over here that it recognizes, it goes, hey, buddy, we have a mic, right? We have a mic. It's covering up my head. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's a mic. 90% sure it's a mic. If I back it out, all right, still a mic. All right, now you can see my face and the mic. All right, it's a mic. It's a person. Hey, it could even be a book. I don't have a whole lot of strong pictures of a book, so I really don't know what a book is. So it possibly could be a book. Then I start to back it up, back it up. All right. The dominant thing is the person, right? And if I throw enough classes in, books, mic, person, beaches, whatever, and I train that model, it's going to be able to identify those things. And depending on how I train a model, I can use it to be able to recreate what it thinks is a model, or excuse me, a mic or a person, or in our case of generative, tiger and a alligator creating, sharing an ice cream. And yes, Stephanie, epochs or data. It's just how many passes really this thing does. So one epoch means that each and every sample in the training data set has been fed through the training model at least once. So it's how many times it goes through and sees that information. So if it does it all once, that's one epoch. So we're telling it to go over all of this data set 50 times. So it's looked at all of these 50 times and tried to calculate what they are. And the bigger this is, the larger the model is. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Go ahead and type them in the chat if you have some questions. Any questions? Any questions? You guys are great. I love how interactive you are. It's pretty awesome. I'm playing with the lighting in here, trying to see what looks better. All right. I'm going to stay with this. I'm not sure that makes it look any better, but all right. So moving on. So now we're going to go into CodeHS. So CodeHS is our integrated development environment, is our training environment. So it's a IDE specifically for students and for training. But we are going to go into some other IDEs like Replit, right? Which are outside of training environments. It's real world use. All right. But so we started playing around with last week creating code. So if this is for my coding students, you get what you're looking at. For people that may be viewing this that aren't a coding student, let me just explain what we did. So if you don't know what you're looking at, this is an IDE. This is where people code up the apps that you use. So the phone app, like they say in the song, it's an app for that, or wherever that came from. There's an app for that. So there's an app for your heartbeat, or app to track how many miles you run, an app to buy shoes, an app to buy hair, app to book a haircut, right? Someone had to build that, and they were in an environment like this. In this case, we're using Python. And so this is our main Python page. And all of this blue stuff, you don't have to worry about, because it's basically we've made it null and void. This green stuff is also null and void. So when we hit run, nothing happens. So let's not make it null and void. We created a second page here, and we made some lists that we're using as to be able to call and use base functions off of. Okay. and we have a function for American cars, one for all cars, and we decided to say, hey, we want to be able to use this. So now I'm going to activate them, and it's going to tell me, CR is not defined. Okay, I forgot to import cars. So it's going to give me American cars and foreign cars and all cars, right? So if I wanted to use AI to assist with this, I could literally just copy this, all of this, and I'm going to remove the comments. And this is how AI can help coders. I can just copy all of this, and I'm going to come over here to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, how can I improve my code? This code is designed to tell me a list of cars. Think of it like a basic car guru, or that app where you can, or that site you can put in, hey, I want a Ford F-150, and it finds all the Ford F-150s in that database. I want a McLaren, it finds a McLaren. I want a Tesla, I want an electric car, I want a gas powered car, I want an ICE car. So internal combustion engine car, ICE car. So there's ICE cars or gas cars, and then there is electric cars. Okay, so I could build out my code and just go to ChatGPT or some type of coding AI, feed it my code, and just say, hey, how can I improve this, right? And then when I hit enter, it's going to go, hey, let me read this. Here are the biggest wins to clean this up. Make it more Pythonic and avoid hidden bugs. So here we go. Removed unused duplicate imports. Your import times twice. And NumPy, OS to Tkinter aren't used in this code you showed. Remove them until you actually need them. So we've used this code to train on different things, and the things that we did need, we just commented out. It notices this and go, hey, you don't use this stuff, so remove it. Now, obviously, in a real coding environment, we're not training on like multiple things. We're utilizing it at the time we built the code, and that's how it's taking it. It doesn't know that we're in a training environment, but it's giving good advice. It's saying, hey, remove that stuff. Put runnable code behind. All right, if underscore name underscore boom. This keeps file imports safe. Right now, if another file imports yours, it will run everything immediately. Okay. Use time.perf underscore counter for timing. Time.time can shift with system clock changes. Perf underscore counter is best for measuring elapsed time. So it's saying, hey, time.time is going to run off your system clock. This one may not. It's good advice. Replace the 3 nested loops. Itertools.product. It's cleaner and scalable. Make your suspense printing reusable. Wrap it in a function, typewriter, so you can reuse it and test it. Be careful with your cars.python. If your earlier cars.py, you had something like AC, return cars plus foreign, print AC. Anything after return never executes. Also, calling print AC inside AC would recurse forever if it did run. So we don't have that here, but this would be recursive because you'd be running it, printing, running it, printing. It'd just be recursive. All right, and it says, hey, here's a cleaned up version of your script of what you coded. Import time from itertools, import product, import cars, SCR. Print combinations, adjectives, fruits, numbers, right? So now we're making functions for A, F, N, and product, adjective, fruits, numbers, print A, F, N, all right, which is American cars, foreign cars, and I guess N is the total of all cars. So here we go. So we put this in, and this is runnable, guys. This is absolutely runnable, right? So we can copy this code. We built out our code. We can copy this code. And we can just hit paste, right? Now let's see if it runs. And there we go. Our code runs. Now, mind you, we didn't have all of this stuff running at once because we had a lot of it commented out, but I removed those comments. But look, it said, hey, I think I have a better way. And sometimes it does have a better way. Not always, but sometimes. Right. So it kept notice that it comment. I love commenting. I always, it's not enough just to write code. You want to write good code. So look, it did a great job. A way to use AI in coding to say, hey, how can I clean this up? How can I make this better? Now, it won't replace coding because, and we're going to see that in a little bit, we just tell AI to build us an app and we don't know how to really code or what we're looking for. We wouldn't understand this. Most of us 6 months ago would be looking at this stuff like a foreign language. We'd be like, what language is this on earth, right? So you have to know how, but it can help you in the process. Okay. It's not wrong to get help. Now, when you need to know, because you don't know what you don't know, and you can't ask it to help you with something you don't even know is wrong. So you have to understand it if you're going to code, especially if you're going to do like this kind of intense coding, deep coding. Okay. I even had a way over here that says, hey, you can even make your cars better. So we can come over here and come over to cars, and let's paste it. Uh-oh. Let's see. I think I copied it instead of paste it. Okay. Now let's see if it still runs. And it still runs. Everything still runs. All right. Rivian, Lexus, Volvo, BMW, Honda are foreign cars and all that good stuff. So it's not illegal to use AI to assist in what you're doing. But if you're ever tested on it, your boss ever calls you on it, you can't tell them, I don't know what's going on. I used AI. So he says, hey, I need you to modify this. I need you to fix this. And you don't know how to do it. And you don't even know how to ask AI for help because you don't know what you don't know. So for coders, we still need to know how to code. We still need to understand how lists work and how functions work and how recursion works and how iteration works. And what turns, the different types of list and the different types. We have to still understand this. There's a word I'm looking for, and it escapes my mind. But we still have to understand how it works. If we don't understand how it works, AI, it's not the Matrix where it just kind of goes in the back of your brain and boom, there it is. Okay, so now let's move on to some stuff that actually can begin to, they say, build apps for you, but it doesn't build apps for you. So that's kind of a misnomer. It's not going to build the app for you. However, it can assist. First tool we're going to look at is called Bolt. Go ahead and type Bolt in the chat. Now, Bolt, you don't need any assistance for. Like, you don't need any experience. You don't need to know how to code to use Bolt. So it's one of those tools that's like, you don't need any information. You don't need to have any experience. You just blink and it's created you $1 million app, right? So we're going to test that. We're going to test Replit, and we're going to test Claude, all who kind of tell you that they'll do it for you. But we're going to see that that's not totally the case. Replit is best used. I remember Replit just for like on-based ID, online, cloud-based, browser-based IDEs. But we'll see. Okay, so Bolt. Now I came over here to Bolt, and I put in a prompt. This was my prompt: to implement a payment system in your application. Oh no, that's not. I said I want to build a payment system, and I told it like PayPal. Here we go. I said, let's create a payment app similar to PayPal. And that was my prompt. That was the totality of my prompt. Let's create a payment system. Let's actually start from scratch. Well, it takes a long time. So after I go through it, we'll put a new prompt in and then we'll move on. And while it's cooking, we'll come back and check on it. Okay. But that's what I said. Let's create a payment app similar to PayPal. And guess what? It did. It even called it Payflow. I like that name. So it came up with an idea, a plan, create a database schema with users, wallets, and transaction tables, set up Bolt database authentication, build UI components, authentication pages, dashboards, payment forms, implement wallets and transaction logic, run build to ensure project compiles, and then, hey, plan completed. Then it says, hey, I've done it. I've built it for you. And, I've built a fully functional PayPal-like app called Payflow. Here's what's included. User registration and login, secure wallet, send money to other users by email, complete transaction history, user profile management, tables to users and wallets. Like, remember, was it Elon that made billions off of PayPal? He's like, hey, man, we're going to build this, then sell it for billions. Beautiful login, dashboard with wallet, money transfer form with validation, transaction history showing all payments, responsive design that works on mobile and desktop. Like, yo, we're in there. Mama, I made it, right? This is going to be huge, and I'm going to sell it. Okay. So you have to have a little bit more information than this. Stephanie says, is that legal to use? Yeah, absolutely. You build an app, it's absolutely legal to use. You're not breaking any laws. Now, if there's some security laws around your app, you'd have to just kind of Google that. I'm not in the payment transaction business. I don't know if you need to, get any specific licenses just to send information about how these payment apps are popping up now. If there is any licensing, it's very minimal. You think of the Cash Apps and the Zales and the pay flows, right? All of the new stuff that Apple Pay and all of these apps have where you can transfer, and some of them are startups, and you can send money through this and that, and you'd be able to send money on Bitcoin. So if there is some little license or check you need, I'm sure it's probably going to be minimal. People are doing it left and right. It's not going to be something that's insurmountable that you can't do. And but yeah, boom, here's the app, and then I can create. Right, I can just say, hey, I'm gonna tell it instead of signing in, and I created one before. Let's see if it remembers. All right. Oh, a@a.com. Let's sign in. Boom. And my browser is even trying to say, hey, which my password here was ABCDEF. Is like, hey, that's not good. So here's my wallet. I can send money, history. Let's send money. I'm gonna send money to myself. I'm gonna send myself $1 million. All right, description. Because you're a boss, and I love you. Enjoy the vacation. Peace. And now we're gonna send this money. All right. Wallet not found. Boom. All right. So it's waiting for me to put some money in there to send, or maybe it isn't. We don't know. We got to look at the code, right? So this is it. So earlier I went sign up, and I put A is my name, a@a.com, and password ABCDEF. And I put sign up, and it signed me up. But it can't. It said, look, user already registered, so it understands this. So, man, you go, I have a totally functioning app, and this is cool. Okay. And it's already, look, connected to a database. It's the Bolt database. I don't know what they're, how they use it or how much they cost if you want to use it. Look, integration, it says add Stripes to your project. So they even connect it to Stripe. So now you can get real money and you can start transacting real money. This is incredible, right? The thing is, this is an app. So you want to get it in the App Store. You want to get it in the Apple App Store or Android App Store. You want to get it built into your website. And that's when it comes to the code. Okay. So it wrote it in JSON. Okay. So it's on Bolt on their servers. Configurations here in JSON. My prompts. For all designs I asked you to make, have them be beautiful, not cookie cutter. Okay. So this is just some prompt. And then here are my components. Dashboard code. Look at this. It's beautiful. It did this probably, I want to say, in about 15 minutes. That's what it took a human longer than 15 minutes to do. Probably just this one page. And you see that it has done multiple pages. Then my login page. Look at that. Beautiful. Wrote all of this in 15 minutes. My send money form. I'm doing my imports. I'm actually not seeing any security in here that makes it not hackable. So you could use it straight out of the AI, but um, being a coder, I'm like, man, I'm not really seeing anything that protects us here. But nonetheless, and maybe it's somewhere down there. Maybe there's. I didn't go through every single one of these just so far. Import mail lock, use the arrow, right? Okay. And I'm just looking at this and reading and just class name. Okay. And look, it did all of this, guys, and I say about 15 minutes it wrote all of this. So the reason I say you need a little bit of information because you have this code. What do you do with it, right? Do you just connect it to GitHub? Do you leave it in Bolt? Do you begin to try to do you pay someone to put it into use it as a server and connect an app to it, right? So this stuff says, hey, we'll do it for you, but if you don't know what to do with it, you don't know how to check for security, you're not sure really what to do with all of this coding, and it's hey, it's beautiful coding. I always teach you guys throw your imports at the top. It done that. The spacing's nice. It doesn't comment out anything, which is horrible. And in the sense that you never, obviously the AI built it and that's good. But if you wanted to come in and just say, hey, I want to tinker around with some stuff, there's no notations in this at all. But I could tell it, hey, go put in notations and go rewrite this and put in notations. So here, so this is where the point that I'm making. AI built this for me, and it would have took a human a while, not 15 minutes, maybe not even 15 days, right? But by the same token, what do I do with this now? What do I do with this data now? Where do I copy it? Do I connect it to my SQL and start using that as a database? Does Bolt sell storage? Can I leave it here on Bolt and just connect all of my use it like an API and connect directly to it? So we have to see. So it's more than just hit the button, it creates the app, uploads it to the app store, connects it to your bank, and you start making money. There's a little bit more to it than that. But hey, if this is great. Now let me say rewrite this, uh, making tons of comments so that each section is explained and easily understandable as to what it does, and make the base code Python. All right, let's see what it does. So I told it, hey, we need some comments, man. If you're going to code, I need you to code. Make not just clean code, but good code. So put in some comments. Explain what the sections do and make the base code Python. All right, so let's see what that happens. So it says, I'll rewrite this as a Python backend application with extensive comments explaining everything. Let me create a complete payment system using Flask and SQL Alchemy. All right, so now it's not making it like a front end app. It's going to make it a back end application, which means I create the front end and boom. So we're not going to have an image per se like we do here. It's going to create the back end and we're going to be able to go from there. So while that's working, while that's cooking, we're going to move on to Replit. Okay. All right. Now here's Replit. Go ahead and type Replit in the comments. Go ahead and type Replit in the comments. All right. Stephanie asked if it doesn't have security, can you add security in there? And absolutely. Remember, it is just it is just a base code. You can copy it and do whatever you want with it, and I'm reading your comments. Sorry for the delays. So yeah, it's the base code. So you can absolutely add security in there. You can modify it any way you want to. You can just copy it straight out. Like I could, let's go back to Bolt. I could literally just come over here to where it says code and hit share. Oh, you have to upgrade to Pro. Okay. And just copy this code right out of here and put it wherever I want to. So yes, you can just use it as a jumping off point and go from there. All right. So it's creating my stuff. It's creating our new backend Python based code with commenting like we like it. And we're going to go from there. So while that's cooking, we're going to go over to Replit. Now, Replit allows you to code right inside of it. So you can kind of vibe code with this. Now, that's not what I did here. I did it just like we did in Bolt. I just said, hey, guys, make an app that can allow me to upload music and charges 99 cents a month for access. And it said that I'll build you a music platform where you can upload tracks and charge users a monthly subscription for access. Bada bing, I know I like music. This will include secure accounts, payment processing, and file storage for your music. I'll start by finding the best tools to handle payment, storage, and user accounts. All right. And it goes off and says 4 actions. I'll set up the core services for your music. And there we go. I'll be adding authentication. So it's going to add security stuff. I'm like, hey, man, I love it. And it goes off and it starts working. Then it says, you've reached your daily free quota limit. I'll reset at 12 a.m. All right. So, well, there you have it. It started working. But if I wanted to pay for it, it hopefully would have finished creating the app. And then $20 a month, $25 a month, and then $40 for a team. If it was just you, looking at $25, but you don't know how much is going to create a day, which is another thing. A lot of this AI is still credits based and coupon based and token based. So you can end up spending a fortune playing around to try to get what you actually want. But it may not be any more expensive than hiring a person. But a person, you're going to get exactly what you're asking for and not prompt, hoping you get what you want and hoping it doesn't leave any back doors, anything you don't want open. So AI is there. I think it's still an incredible, amazing, wonderful tool for coding and developing. It's just not there yet. Okay. All right. Johnny returns. Well, let's go back to Bolt. Let's see where we are here in Bolt. All right. It's still cooking. Like I said, I think it took about 15 minutes last time. Okay. All right. Let's see what it's doing. It's thinking. All right. Happy.wine models. Thinking. Okay. Detailed comments explaining what it does. It says key features, return values. I'll use decimal for money, not the float. Issue was corrupted. It says the code in production, ready in education, perfect for learning, flash authentication, payment systems. Had some problems. It says fixed issue was corrupted syntax, removed the extra URL, text was back breaking the file. Project now builds successfully. Boom. So it had an issue and found out it had an issue and fixed it. So that's awesome. That's really smart. It had an issue, found out it had an issue, and then fixed it. All righty. So now, all right, well, this is still the original JSON file. So let me refresh and maybe that'll give me the new files here. Or maybe we'll have to just create a totally new one. That's fine if we do. All right, here we go. Perfect. It's in Python. So Bolt. All right, let's start building it out here in Python. It looks like Python, JavaScript, and HTML, JSON, JScript. Heavy comments, really heavy commenting. So you really know what everything is. This helps track the account creation, relationship links to user wallet. This allows. So, I mean, it triple commented virtually every line of code. String representation of this wallet for debugging. All right. And then once again, here's some JSON, some Python. And there you have it. Something that would have taken weeks, months, maybe, took it, 10 minutes. So it's definitely useful, remarkably useful. So, and this is Bolt. All right, go ahead and type. Did we do Bolt already? All right, you did Bolt. All right, so Replit, here's another tool. I'm just giving you some tools in your tool bag for those that want to create apps, for those that want to hire people to create apps, for those that want to build or take some, optimize their time by using AI. So Replit, it wouldn't go any further, so we timed out. But I hadn't tried the coding feature just with Replit, as in just using it as an IDE. And I think you can. I don't know. So I'm not too familiar with Replit here. All right. So anyway, so we don't kill too much time. I was looking for where it would allow you to build from. So we're going to just come over. Where did we copy that stuff from? Let's come over here. And we're going to just copy this over into Replit. Okay, I guess I'm just too unfamiliar with to Replit to use it successfully. I think we're here in the IDE. However, I don't see where to begin coding. Okay, all right. So Replit. Now Claude is kind of one of the kings of creating apps, like no code apps, like you tell it what you want and it begins to build for you. So let's play with it. I haven't created any prompts. This is supposed to be the king. So I hadn't created any prompts. All I did was just create a free plan, free account, and let's see what it does. So what type of app? You guys tell me what type of app you want it to build. Should we do the payment apps like we did before? What type of apps should we create? I want to see what you guys say. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Let's see. All right, so what type of apps? All righty. I see payment. Okay, so we're going with a payment app again. All right. So we got payment. Let's go payment. Create a payment app similar to PayPal. I don't know what this is going to do, guys. I honestly don't know. This is the only one out of all of everything we've seen that I did not test and set up because it's supposed to be highly recommended. It's supposed to be the guru. It's supposed to be the no code app, right? So no code needed. It's just going to, you just do your thing and it creates the app for you. So we're going to see. Maybe we'll run out of credits. I have no idea what's going to happen. Let's see. Pushing the button. Pushing the button. All righty. So we push the button. And now it's looks like it's thinking. And it says, I'll create a modern payment app with a clean interface similar to PayPal. Let me start by checking the front end design skill for best practices. Okay. Al says storage database or list. Okay. Books, action figures, video games. Okay. Something to keep track of what items you have in a collection. All right. I like it. Okay. It says, now I'll create a modern payment app with a distinctive design. I'll go with a sleek premium financial aesthetic with bold typography, sophisticated colors, and smooth animations. VeloSpay or VeloSpay. All right. Now this is dope. I see why they say Claude is kind of the GOAT for no code apps. I kind of like it. I kind of really like it. So here we go. VeloSpay. Premium member John Doe. Notifications. Total balance 12 grand. Recent transactions. Sarah Williams. 250. Netflix subscription. All right. So my Amazon purchase. Right. Everything that you buy. Analytics this month pending. Okay. This isn't bad. This is not bad. I gotta admit, this isn't bad. And it says you could try this in Cowork and get the desktop app. We're not gonna get the desktop app now. Okay. I'll create a modern payment app with a clean interface similar to PayPal. Let me start by checking the front end design skill for best practices. Now I'll create a modern payment app with distinctive. Okay, I've created VeloSpay, a modern payment app, key features dashboard with balance overview, quick action buttons, transaction history, analytics sidebar, interactive models, design. Okay. And now this says this app is fully functional with working models and form submission. Click any action button to see the payment form in action. Oh, so it says it's working. Request money. All right. Once again, $1 million. Note. For 1 hour of tutoring. Somebody wants to pay me for $1 million to hang out with him for an hour. Boom. All righty. Add funds. All right. And this is where your debit card or whatever information would be. All right. This is good stuff. Then it has over here download. So I guess it lets you actually download your app. Look at that. Looks like you can actually download the app. So boom. Now this is running out of a web browser from a file on my computer that I downloaded. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of just like HTML here. But all right. So it looks really, really cool. Let's look at the code. So here is a preview. Let's actually look at the code. Okay, so this is just one super long string of code. It is HTML, which actually works in the favor of probably 99.9% of people. 70 says, I'm expensive. The Lord bless me. So $1 million an hour, come on, a guy can dream. All right. Doc type HTML. So the reason I say HTML is a benefit over JSON and Python and all this other stuff is with HTML, you can literally you have a website, you literally can just copy the code right out of here onto one of your web pages and it is running, right? You'd have to make some modifications clearly, but it is going to be the absolute easiest thing. There's no trying to get your app submitted to the App Store and then, connecting it to a database and all this other stuff. You can do it all right from your website. So this being HTML makes it super, super simple. It's just one long line of code, but super simple. And you can just copy it here and run it. So let's actually go back over here to Code.hs. We're going to go to Sandbox. We're going to create a program. We'll use HTML, create the program. Welcome to my webpage. All right. So we're going to come and we are going to delete all of this. Okay. Index HTML. It's probably going to tell me I need to delete the other one first. Already exists. I don't know what it's doing here. Okay, there we go. Switch to code view. All right, here we go. So now we put all of our code in there. Save it. And what I want to do is see now, let's run it. And boom, our code works. And if this was our website, this would be our actual web page. Now, mind you, we'd have to do some modifications here because we don't want a person to see this. We want a person to see a login screen and we want people to be able to log in and sign in. But just HTML as is, this is what you're going to get. But as I'm looking through here, I'm trying to say, all right, are you connecting to any databases? Are you? So then we'd have to be, so this looks really, really cool from Claude, but we'd have to go a lot more detailed in it. We'd have to say, create an easy connection to an MySQL database, create a working sign up and account login screen, add security to prevent injection and other hacks and breaches. Okay. So let's see what this says. I create a complete secure payment system with my SQL database, integration, sign, login functionality, and comprehensive security measures. Let me start by reading the relevant skills. Okay, boom. All right, so we just saw it by being HTML. It's just simple, right? You just copy and paste it into your website, and it works. So this is just I wanted to give you guys a taste of some of the options out there for no code coding. And you see that no code coding kind of still requires you to have some information of how to code and an explicit understanding of what you're looking for. But you just saw AI create 3 months worth of work in like 5 minutes, right? 5-10 minutes. You saw it with Claude. Go ahead and type Claude AI in the chat. Go ahead and type Claude AI in the chat. Claude AI. Go ahead and put that in the chat. We saw some of what Replit can do. Even though I know that Replit gives you, I'm pretty sure Replit gives you an IDE, integrated development environment for coding, kind of like CodeHS does. But just an actual IDE that you can run, kind of like Anaconda. All right. And then we see here Bolt, which was great. I actually kind of like Bolt, to be honest. I actually think Bolt, and I know Claude is supposed to be kind of the king. I don't know. I kind of like Bolt. So I don't want to go against the grain. I don't want to rub the cat's hair the wrong way, but I kind of like Bolt. But I'm sure if we put the right prompts in the Claude, and we know about prompting, right? We could actually use ChatGPT for prompting. So let's tell ChatGPT, let's say, hey, I want to create a payment app. Since Claude did HTML, we'll say HTML. Claude app that I can copy and paste into my website. The payment app should be similar to PayPal with security to prevent hacking, a robust and playful yet respectable, financial minded interface and landing page. What else? And anything else that would enhance the customer and user experience. Create connections to my SQL to house the data. Oh, so let me stop. I forgot to tell it that I need this as a prompt for Claude. If not, it'll try to create it itself. Look, it says guiding away. Okay. So let me not want it to create it itself. So I'm going to create a new one. All right. In this case, I want to say make sure it's in Python. In this case, because we want to test Claude, I'm going to tell it to do HTML because that's what Claude initially made it in. How I want to create a payment app using Claude AI and need a prompt. The payment app that I can copy and paste. I'll say a payment app. Copy and paste into my website, the payment app. Okay. Now, instead of it trying to build it, is going to actually um, give me a prompt to copy into Claude AI to build it. And I tell you what, using ChatGPT for prompting is incredible because ChatGPT normally 100% of the time creates a better prompt than anyone can. And that includes me. It'll create a detailed, wonderfully beautiful prompt that you can copy into whatever system. And the system kind of knows what to do from there. All right, so here it is. Absolutely, but quick reality check first. Building a PayPal from scratch, holding balances, sending money, card vaulting, chargebacks, KYC, AML, disputes, PCI compliance, fraud ops is massive and regulated. The safest copy paste into my website version is front end widget plus landing page UI, back end that talks to a PCI compliant processor, Stripe, PayPal. There we go. MySQL for users, order transactions. Never store raw card data in your database. Of course, it all needs to be encrypted. Below is a Claude ready prompt. So yes, it's talking about PCI compliance. Someone was asking about doing that. So PCI compliance is something that you need to consider. Once again, I am not a financial institution, so if you do want to create something financial, make sure you look at the research the correct laws and regulations so you're compliant. So here's the text that it's creating. You are a senior full stack engineer plus application security expert. So it's telling it who it is. Build me a PayPal like payment experience that I can embed into an existing website. Copy paste. The goal is not to become a payment processor, but to provide a modern checkout and payment flow using a PCI compliant provider like Stripe. Recommend it with robust security, a polished, playful yet respectable fintech UI, and a great landing page. All right. So it's writing. All right. That is funny. Chat PTG. Someone commented that their son was watching the weather man and he was talking about Chat PTG instead of Chat GPT. All right. As you see here, it's going detail. Now, mind you, my prompt was look at my original prompt. Let's go back to Claude. Let's go to my original prompt here. You get in what you put out. And look, Claude, this is with the Velas Pay. Create an easy connection, MySQL, create a working sign up, active login, security prevention injection, other hacks and breaches, create a payment app similar to PayPal. All right, so that's what I did, and boom, this is what it spit out. Hey, this is what I need to do: rate limiting, XSS prevention, account lockout, secure headers, files. There we go. PHP, SQL, HTML, all the standard stuff. It's telling me import schema.sql, or okay, that's what it's doing. Place file on the web server, visit, organize HTML to start, demo account. All right, boom. So here it is. These are all of the files I need. And all I have to do is upload them. So, all right, so Claude is good. And I guess I just download them and just upload them right into my website. So let's do a new chat because I want to put in the Chat GPT prompt because it is detailed. Copy the Chat GPT prompt. Paste. All right, it says pasted. All right. Boom. All right, now let's see what it does now. Using the Chat GPT prompt to build the app instead of my lame prompt. ChatGPT is great for prompting. I teach ChatGPT for prompting all the time. It just does a great job at creating these prompts and cues. It's an AI that knows what AI is looking for and can bridge between what you want and what the AI needs to hear to deliver what you want. All right, so let's see what it spits out now. I'm excited to see what it spits out. Man, this is cool. Just to think that this, 10 years ago wouldn't have even been thought of. 5 years ago would have been not dreamed about. And now this is a reality. This is incredible. Such powerful tools. Go ahead and prompting, ChatGPT prompting in the chat. ChatGPT prompting. All right, let's see. All right, so that might take a while. While we're doing that, go ahead and ask any questions. Put whatever questions you want into the chat. So excited to see what your questions are. I see ChatGPT prompting in the chat or chat PTG. All right, so ChatGPT prompting in the chat. There we go. Yeah, you can see what it's really um, thinking pretty hard and using some processing power here. It says, now let me create this comprehensive payment system. I build a robust, secure, and visually distinctive payment experience. Now let me create all the code files. This is when we wait and go. We wait on bated breath. Let me see what you guys are asking here. Francisco says, could a business be started with one of these apps? Absolutely. Could you launch a business? I mean, in every sense of the word, you could. On the one hand, you could absolutely um, start a business. You can create an website like Claude, and you could pull in an API, which is what a lot of these websites do, and people don't talk about it. A lot of these people haven't created their own websites; they're using an API from some other AI website. So it's kind of like smaller banks aren't really banks. They are in the sense of you can go deposit your money. They have an app so you can check your balance. You get a little interest rate or whatever. But normally smaller banks, they make daily deposits into larger banks. So you can start a bank right now, Francisco Bank and Trust. And normally you have to have this much insurance and cover this much people's money and all this other stuff. But if you just bank with a larger bank and can show, hey, we bank, my little bank banks with Bank of America, some big bank, um, there you have it. You can show that people's monies are covered and all of this stuff. And you might be able to get around 90% of the regulations because the bank you're banking with is doing those things, right? Or more, 99% of the regulations. So a lot of these sites are you're interfacing with their UI, but on the back end, they're just pulling API information from one, two, three, or four of the sites. For example, Nano Banana. When you see a site that says, "Hey, we have ChatGPT and Nano Banana and all of these other things," what are they saying? Is that we're interfacing with all of these other APIs, and so now when you come to our website connects with all of the other sites, and you get all of their benefits in one. So you could create where you're not making your own large language models and building up from scratch like a ChatGPT, but just using all everyone else's hard work. So from that part, you can start a business. From the other point is, people are coming to you, saying, "Hey, I need code for this. I need code for that. Build me an app for this. Build me an app for that." And you have a little bit of knowledge about coding, and then you go to these sites and bada bing, bada boom, they build. You use them to help you build their apps at lightning speed, right? Or if you're just a business owner, you have a lawn care service and you want to create your lawn care app, or um, better your website, make your website better. You could copy the code from your website and say, "Hey, make this better," and then just copy and paste it back on your website, right? We've seen that tonight. So yeah, you could absolutely start a business, uh, using these apps. All right, that's good. You guys have some really good questions. Someone said, "Why do I like Bolt?" Um, I like Bolt for a lot of reasons. Now, mind you, I'm familiarizing myself. Tools come out. Seem like every day there's a new tool, right? Or every week there's a new prominent tool or successful tool. Bolt just with all of these code apps, as you just come in, you tell it what you want, it builds it for you. You can see it's not as easy as they may make it seem, and you do have a publish output that'll publish it, and then you can utilize it directly from Bolt. So you could build this stuff, publish it out, and then have it like run on Bolt, which makes it a lot easier. um and I like that. Bolt is kind of your one-stop shop, right? And look at all of the files that it creates. You tell it, "I want it in Python, I want it in JSON," or it, since you're not coding it, "Hey, build it in whatever you want to build it in, and I'm just going to publish it and try to get it to run and work for my business." um so I just like it. Bolt just seems so straightforward. A prompt here, just a prompt here, output here. If I want to check code here, I mean, it just seems working. I can see what I'm getting. Code, I can come and just say, "Hey, um, I hadn't tried these logs features." So, but yeah, no, it just seems straightforward. That's why I liked it. But we're going to see what Claude can do. People say Claude is one of the big dogs, right? So we're going to see what Claude can do, especially now that we improved the basic and very, very simple, remarkably, utterly simplistic prompt that I did, and we put that in the ChatGPT, my super simple "make me a payments app" prompt, and told ChatGPT to improve it, and then it came out with hard requirements and payment providers and compliance and security and anti-hacking and SQL, and what to deliver and configurations, and just took my tiny little prompt and made it something great with Stripe integration, connecting to Stripe so I can get paid and other people could transfer money, two-factor authentication. Hey, it just seems like, hey, it I'm thinking that Claude is now going to spit out something that's just absolutely incredible. And actually, if we're going to make it a fair competition, we should take that same prompt, if we want to be totally fair, and put it in here. Can I make a new chat? Let's see if I can create something new. I'm gonna use the same prompt, and then we can see how long one takes over the other. All righty. So now this is a real race. Now we have a real foot race. Okay, keep building you ran out of tokens, upgrade to your current plan and keep building. All right, there we go. So now it wants some money. I was just using the free version. So it's like, well, if you want all of that, you're gonna have to bump it up. All right, and we know the same thing from Replit over here. It was or from yeah, Runaway. Runaway says you want to make videos, you got to pay me. Okay, um, and Replit wants you to upgrade. All of them wants to get your money, but seems like Claude is just working hard over here for free. He's working hard for the money, and Al says want. Yeah, they want the money, Al. All right. So, but Claude seemed like it's working hard for the money, creating CSS, which is your visuals, JavaScript files. Um, there we go. README document security files. So we're going to see. We're going to see what Claude is going to do here. But just to recap, generative AI and AI in general works off of large language models, which large language models means it's given millions and millions and millions of examples of what an image is, what a sound is. That's how you have like the Sunos when they can sing for you and do all of this stuff. The re-sing, where you sing it and it re-sings it back better because it's heard millions of songs in multiple languages and it knows what good music sounds like because people have spent millions and millions of hours telling it what good music sounds like and what a tiger looks like and what ice cream looks like, a sundae looks like over just a bowl of ice cream, right? We said specifically a sundae, and it didn't give us a bowl of ice cream. Both cases, it gave us a sundae, right? In both cases, it gave us a sundae, something that we would recognize. Look at the cherry ice cream, chocolate coming down, right? It gave us a sundae and not just a bowl of ice cream. It didn't give us yogurt, right? Because it knows specifically what a sundae looks like. And we know that because this is how large language models work. There's millions of pictures of books and mics and ice creams and beaches and alligators and whatever you want, right? And then they train that model on those images so that way when they recognize one of those things, they know what it is. And they can create one of those things because they know what it is. One of the hardest things for it to create back in the day was, and it's still hard, is for it to create fingers. So people used to be able to tell AI because, things would have 6 fingers, it would get the amount of fingers wrong all the time. Because, if I have my hands together, I have 2 hands with 10 fingers, and 5 on each hand, or to have 1 with 5, or if we're holding hands, do you attribute all those fingers to me? Or if I'm waving and it's blurry and you can't tell if I have 30 fingers because of the blur, right? So it'll just mess up fingers for a long time. And those are easy indicator, like, look at the fingers. This is AI. That's how we would look at it, right? Some years back, as early as 2 years ago, you look at the fingers. Oh, that's AI. That's an AI picture. Look at the fingers, right? Or the eyes wouldn't quite be right. Faces are hard, but it seemed like it nailed faces and it just needed to get fingers. And then once it got fingers, just like, well, now we got a ball game. So you make the language model large enough, and then you're able to start creating programs like Bolt and Replit that understand coding because it's looked at millions, probably billions, if not probably trillions of lines of code and knows what this line does and what this thing does. And they get better. And they continue to get better because they create programs that make where they don't even have to pay for information anymore. ChatGPT or OpenAI now has a browser. So everyone that uses this browser, they get the benefit of using a free browser that is smart, right? But also OpenAI being a smart company, they're pulling out everything you look at. They're pulling out everything you search. They're looking at the names of everything you look at. They're looking at your habits. And now they're pulling in, billions and billions and billions and billions of data points, terabytes upon terabytes and terabytes of data. And now they're training their AIs, and now they know what you want, what you think, how you want it, when you want it, at what stage of your life you want it, what people that look like you want and think like you want, and that your age group want, and went to the school you went to, or didn't go to the school you went to want, and they're just using all of this to train it on, to be able to predict what you probably want or someone like you probably wants. And the language models just get bigger, bigger, and bigger, and the predictions just get better, 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 and better. Okay, it's doing something, guys. Completed. Payment system delivered. All right, keep chatting with Claude. Give me money. I'm curious. How much money do you want, Claude? Free Claude, Pro Claude, good Claude. All right, let's see. All right, Pro Claude. All right. Claude and Excel integration with remote MCP, more users than free. Okay. All right. Well, Claude, have mercy. All right, now let's go back. Smart says, my fingers in my AI video look scary. Yeah. All right. So, is it going to give us this? Look at this. It says, hey, I finished it. Look at this. Maybe Claude is the king. Maybe this is why they say Claude is the king. Maybe it just showed us why it's on top. I built you a production-ready embedded payment experience called PayFlow, a secure PCI-compliant payment widget system built on Stripe. What you're getting, 38 files. Type 38 in the chat. 38. Security first backend, API, JWT, CSRF protection. I like it. Payment processing via Stripe. Supports European money, the dollar. All right, Australian money. Beautiful front end. All right, MySQL database, complete schema with 7 tables, comprehensive documentation, key features, webhooks. And you just download these, and Bob's your uncle. All right, guys. I like that Bolt. You could just publish there and run right from Bolt, looks like. And now, it says it gave us a, wait, is this real? It says visit here and test with the card 424242 to see how this thing works. Oh no, would have to be no, this is just a local. Okay, I guess once I download it. Okay. All right. At first I didn't realize that it was just like I just saw a link. So yeah, you download it and you just run it. And yeah, you just test with that card. Okay. Localhost. That means run it off of my computer or your computer. All right, so you have 38 downloads. You download them. You run this thing. All right. I have to say, I am thoroughly impressed. If this downloads as a zip file, I will fail to download files. Why? Why, Claude? Why? Why have you failed me, Claude? It doesn't want to download the files. What am I sharing here? Only messages up until now will be shared. Link can view. Okay. So what does that link do? Let's go to incognito. And I guess it's just sharing this conversation, but no download. All right, so I'll just share that link with you guys. And yeah, may need money. You're out of free messages until 12 a.m. So yep. So until till midnight, we're out of there, buddy. We're out of there. All right. This is great. This is great. This is great. All righty. I'm going to come back and do a little bit of coding for my coders. But this has been great. This has absolutely been great. Okay. 819. Go ahead and take 20. And I'll see my coders back at 8:40. And I'll start a new live stream at 8:40, and we'll hop right and we'll be back to class as usual, back to coding. But I hope y'all enjoyed this walk down AI and coding. If you enjoyed it, just go ahead and type "I enjoyed it." I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and just type "This was fun," or you can just put in "I like the tiger." I like the tiger. This was smart. This was fun. This was great, and yeah, this is wonderful. All right, well, God bless you guys. I'm so happy that you were out here hanging with me, and um, I'll see you guys back in 20 minutes.
What if the next 12 months could completely change your income, your skills, and your confidence without student debt? Welcome to Griffin School of Excellence, GSE, where excellence begins. If you're watching this right now, you're in the right place. This live stream is part of what we do at GSE: real teaching, real skills, and real world training that helps you grow. So before class begins, do 3 quick things for me. Subscribe to this channel, like this stream, and share it with one person who's trying to level up. GSE is a skill-based technical school built for everyday people, people with jobs, families, responsibilities, and big dreams. Our mission is simple: to bring what feels like an insurmountably expensive education to the everyday person at affordable rates with zero debt, and to graduate students who are day one ready. That means when you finish here, you're holding skills you can use immediately in the workplace. At GSE, we train in areas that actually move the needle financially, skills that employers pay for and entrepreneurs use to build income. Here are a few of the core tracks we teach: coding and development, Python; build real projects, learn automation, and develop job-ready programming skills. AI for business. Learn how to use modern AI tools to create content, build funnels, automate workflows, and increase profit. Food truck entrepreneurship. Learn how to plan, price, design, and launch a food truck business the smart way. Audio/video engineering. Learn the skills behind live streaming, recording, editing, and production for real environments. And the goal is always the same: skill plus application equals transformation. GSE is for the person starting over, the person tired of living check to check, the person who knows they're gifted but needs structure, the person who's ready to stop watching other people win and start building. Whether you're in Texas, somewhere else in the US, or across the world, our cohorts are online, which means your location doesn't disqualify you. If you can learn, apply, and stay consistent, you belong here. What makes GSE different isn't just the classes, it's the culture. We don't hand out participation certificates. We believe in earned excellence. We build students who can actually do something, not just talk about it. This is a place where you get challenged, supported, and equipped. If you want to enroll, apply for a scholarship, or learn more, go to the GSE website and fill out the application. This is your sign to step in. And if you're here because you heard about scholarships, yes, we do scholarships.